Hi, folks. Another episode of the Short Shift Podcast. I got Ian. I got Andrew. Thomas is prepping for the new expansion team of the NHL, the Meteor, who's going to come in and ruin the Eastern Conference Finals on his bidding.
Yeah, I didn't know he was much of a praying guy, but I could see it. Just praying every moment for the Meteor.
Yep, he's prepping.
He's got nothing to love left in this.
Yep. He's drawing up the expansion draft for Team Meteor. Did you know that there was actually an asteroid that passed closer to Earth than the Moon just 2 days ago?
Oh, was that? I forget when that was happening. I was kind of hoping the math would be off and we would just get nailed, but
same.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are you thinking about that, by the way? What do you think about this Eastern Conference Final being Carolina, which I know you have an affinity for, being where you're from and who your best friend cheers for, and Montreal, who is fucking terrifying that they're going to be this good for a very long time.
There's no winning this situation, right?
For you, no.
Either my closest bud gets to gloat forever or until the Bruins do anything or the Habs win. I'm worried about the series. Like, I think it's going to be a good series. I really worry that the Canes might just dominate, right? Because as much as I didn't think the Habs were capable of multiple performances like this through the playoffs, but the lack of possession that they play with so frequently in important moments.
They actually kind of look like the Bruins.
Right? Like, they're getting opportunistic scoring. They look better than the Bruins, let's be honest. But
no, they look better than the Bruins. They're faster. But in terms of possession, in terms of possession share, in terms of shot share, and shot suppression, also they're going to be good. They're very good. You don't make it to the conference finals without being at least some form of good to very good.
Yeah, for sure.
They're kind of coasting on dreams and starlight right now, are they not?
Yeah, it feels weird because I didn't expect that from this team. And when you're going against the possession monster in the league, I think they ranked second this year, but Carolina's going to have that puck all day.
Yeah, well, the possession monster of the league 5 years running. So I mean, even if they were second, they're possession monsters and they're huge shot volume creators. I mean, it sounds like you think that this streak's going to end for Carolina, that they're going to make it, that they're going to finally break the curse, and you have to say it in front of a mic now.
I think they should, right? It's not even that, like, I think this is the year. And yeah, I do think this is the year, but we said this before the playoffs even started. If not this year for the Canes,
when?
Fucking when, man.
No.
And if you're a Canes fan, you're looking at what this series was for Buffalo and Montreal. Montreal had a goals for percentage at 5-on-5 of 55%, 55.1%.
Mm-hmm.
Expected goals for percentage, 45.8. Their PDO was almost 1.03. They had an 11.5 shooting percentage, all 5-on-5. Their high danger save percentage was 91.5. Like
that's Dobish was out of his mind.
Oh,
for most of the series,
the difference
Game
maker,
6,
right? Yeah, like Dobish has been awesome, and I just think if you're a Canes fan, you're looking at that series going, "Did we get the worst team?" Which I wouldn't even say they did. It's just, man, they don't possess the puck. They weren't creating more than Buffalo was. They were having a hard time getting to inside ice and just huge pockets of play where they are passengers for the game.
There's two things that have brought them to the conference finals. We're just shitting on Montreal because what the hell do we have left anyway?
Well, we jumped right into the series. Why not?
Yeah. There's two things that brought him here. Jakub Dobish.
Yep.
I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, who cares? Who possibly cares? We're all dying.
Yeah.
Again, I ask. And Alex Newhook?
I mean, no, don't do that. Like, the 3 years running most underrated player in the league, Alex Newhook. He's been Just such a heart and soul guy. I really like Newhook. Yeah, he's been awesome. But they've had a lot of contributions from that team.
Yeah, except for Nick Suzuki.
But Suzuki, I hate to be this guy. He affects the play on ice, even if
he does.
Even if he's not getting his points.
If you're not scoring points, you got to do something else, and he's doing something else.
He completely changes their penalty kill, completely changes their 5-on-5 defense structure. I mean, I'm never. It's gonna be a weird day for me to start harping on Suzuki.
Mm-hmm. But it's kind of emblematic of what you started this with, where 5-on-5 Buffalo was the better team.
No, see, I can't even. Yes, the analytics say that, but God, I have a really hard time saying that because when Montreal turned it on, holy shit!
Montreal did turn it on in pockets, but
it's a 60-minute game. Like, I get it.
Yeah, 60-minute game, and goalies are part of the game. Goalies are part of the game.
Okay, so goalies being part of the game is my point. Then is that Montreal's the better team.
Yeah. Got him
with his own logic.
I think if you play that kind of series like 20 times, Buffalo wins like 15 of them.
I don't think you believe what you're saying, because what did you text me the moment that series ended? The moment it ended.
Oh, that can't go in. That game-winning goal by Newhook, good NHL
great shot.
Whatever. Good NHL shot. That can't go in from that distance.
He texts us, what did I say? The Sabres have what is it? A 2A, 2B?
They have 2 1Bs.
Yes, 2 1Bs. So it's like, yeah. So this is why I think at the end of the day, Dobich still makes the difference in the majority of those series.
Okay. And
he did that in round 1 too. He was excellent. So
yeah. Real quick, did Alex Tuch cost himself a lot of money?
I'm really glad. So we're gonna jump over to Buffalo now. I'm really glad you said this because I wanted to talk about this a lot. No.
I want to talk about this a lot. No.
Here's the thing. People will disagree with that, but I'm dead right about this because
his UFA class is the worst in about 10 years.
It's a terrible UFA class. It's fucking awful. He is the primary forward talent, unless I'm missing someone here.
Nope.
UFA,
yes.
He's a power forward. He plays a fast, physical style. He's exactly what teams are looking for since the Panthers won their first the Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is the bigger question. Is like, are they going to play Cap Jenga and figure out a way to keep both Benson and Tuch?
You need a goalie first.
You do need a goalie too.
You need an actual starting goalie. UPL is not a starting goalie, and I don't think Alex Lyon is either.
You would have to move off of Greenway. You would have to there's a few guys that they would have to. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest one to like. Yep. We don't have to keep this guy around.
Greenway scored in Game 7, so good for him. That made him some money.
I mean, he was an impact forward. I thought he's just a bottom 6 guy making $4 million next year. If you're trying,
bottom 6 guy making $4 million who's hurt a lot,
right? Yeah. But other than that, it's not like they have a lot of guys they could just walk away from or a ton of money to easily shed, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously their cap's going up, which will help, but they have a ton of money in their defense, and they have other guys that need to. Kesselring's an RFA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys are going to have some contracts. They're going to have to say goodbye to Luke Shen and Logan Stanley. So anyway, the question being...
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's true. Who played himself out of the playoffs. The question for me really is, does Buffalo really make an attempt to try to keep Tuch, which means they have to get rid of some cap?
Yes. They have to. If you don't, you're not doing your job.
Okay. I think I agree with it. Buffalo fans are kind of like, bye, which is shocking to me. You're talking about the lone soldier through all of these years of like, not literally all these years because he came over in that Vegas trade, but still a long time.
No, dude, the Vegas trade was like 5 years ago.
That's what I mean. When I say like the lone soldier through all the years, I thought of 14 years.
You thought of literally all of the years.
There's got to be a longer tenured guy than Tuch, right?
On the Sabres?
Yeah.
Dahlin.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know the ages of these people. Dahlin's 5 years or 4 years younger than Tuch.
To me, Dahlin is still like 19, but he's like entering his 8th year in the league.
Yeah.
Ninth?
Perfect. I think it's 8th. He's 27. He might have been 9th.
Oh,
First
God,
overall.
Time never stops. Time never stops, and also stops dead.
Yep. They are definitely going to try to keep Krebs, and they have to keep Benson, obviously.
Krebs was really bad in this series.
Krebs was good in the series against the Bruins.
Yes, Krebs was really bad in this series.
Fair. And in fact, when they were talking to Game 7 about a lot of the Sabres players and their performances in round 1 compared to round 2, it kind of hurt my feelings. Like, the Sabres really were at their worst against the Bruins. Still won that series, though.
Well, we'll kind of get into some of that later, because by the way, you people are psychopaths. We ended up with 14 fan mails.
Oh, neat.
It was no need what?
I said, oh, neat.
Oh, I said, oh, neat. Yeah, 14 fan mails. You guys are psychos. I love you. And by the way, they're still coming in. So,
oh god,
if you're listening, if you're listening live, which you're not, but if you're listening live, you still have maybe about an hour.
So, when it comes to Buffalo, though, I assume they're just this was house money, right? But has Montreal reached house money? You're talking about two younger teams pushing it deep into the playoffs?
Okay. If you're a team like Montreal, and all things equal, this is your second year in a row that you've finished ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
At what point does that timeline actually jump?
I don't know. It's just hard to be in the conference finals and think house money, right?
Yes, that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
Like if you're ahead of schedule for 2 straight years, you're not ahead of schedule. You're where you're supposed to be.
Valid. Mm-hmm. God, that sucks for everybody else.
Yeah, you are where you are supposed to be when you're supposed to be. Dove, you got to remember this too, Ian. Dovish was kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, Fowler was supposed to be the guy.
Yep.
Yup, which now Fowler might be trade bait, which is an awesome piece for a couple different options out there.
Hey, we'll give you DiPietro and Corpusalo both.
You'll get 2 goalies for the price of 1.
You know?
It's a good deal.
It is a good deal. Do it. I would love Fowler on the Bruins. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. We'd kind of have a guy ahead of him, but...
Well, yes, but, I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Wunderkind as backup.
That's true. It's true.
Real quick, Montreal does have a shot. Obviously, they have a shot, but Montreal has a real shot for one reason. For the on the Kane side,
are you going to do the thing?
I'm going to do the thing.
All right.
When this series starts, the Canes will have played 8 games in 36 days.
Damn. How many days off are they at? 14?
Rust or rust?
Oh, I think so. Initially, this was a bad thing to me because, I mean, rust is going to set in. We've seen in the past, you sweep a team, you come into the next series, you're slow starting. The hockey is hard to recover from with that.
Because, that happened between the first and second rounds for Carolina. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's true. A week ago, though, that was the conversation. It's now been another week. And you just sit there and go, you know what? And what's the difference between 8 days and 13 at this point? Like, you guys are as healthy as you could possibly be.
Yep.
You're professional athletes. Yes, you're probably going to start a little rusty, a little slow. But if this in any way turns into a war of attrition, you're set up really well for this.
You're set up really well for this, but, how do you may have to weather a shot in the mouth or two.
I think if there's one team that I trust right now obviously in the East, but the Canes can do that. They can get nailed, and you just sit there and you're like, I'm not worried, and I know they're not worried.
Yep.
The team just doesn't seem to get concerned. Now, obviously, this is the stage they fail at every time.
What's their record in conference finals, Ian? You said it last week, but I want you to say it again.
1-16 over their last 4 appearances. So, it's not great. It's not great. I wonder if I'm adding an extra series. Is it 1-12 or 1-16? It feels ridiculous.
If you're adding an extra series, all you're doing is just being a psychic.
You know, if they lose the first game, the next time you talk to me, I'm like, I think they're like 1-21 now. I'm just gonna keep making the number bigger.
Yep. And if they lose the first 2 games, you're like, I think they're 1-38 now.
Yep. Sort of there. What do you? The West matchup is a good one. I'm very heavily rooting for Colorado.
We'll get to the other team in a minute, but Colorado is a well-oiled machine heading into this one.
Cale Makar, day to day, missing game 1.
Yeah, guess who's replacing him in the lineup?
Who?
Bruins legend Jack Ashan.
Yep. He was fine. Sorry, I got excited because he was fine in the 2 games that he made very minor appearances in earlier in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was supposed to be the next Torrey Krug.
I do remember that. That was was an interesting time.
Yeah.
I feel like I had the same conversation about Sean as I did with Aspro. I'd be like, you can't have this guy in your top pair because he spent a second up there.
Yeah, he did.
Like, you're not a competitive team.
6 games with Boston.
Like, you're not a competitive team if this guy's on your top pair.
Yeah.
Yikes. But no, I'm not overly worried about Colorado. Obviously, Vegas can compete, but
yeah,
that's a great team.
But obviously, Cale Makar being out kind of changes the telemetry a little bit.
Like, I mean, definitely, if this is something that's going to bug him the rest of the series, then yeah, that evens the playing field by.
If this is something that's going to bug him for the rest of the series, okay, I'll take 70% Cale Makar over 100% most players.
True, absolutely, but it certainly does get the scales moving back towards even.
Sure, but you're not particularly worried.
Not yet. Day to day, game 1. Yeah, I'm fine. Confident.
What's Vegas's shot in this one?
I mean, they have hockey's always a coin flip, right? So, but I would still say like, I don't know, 35%.
No. Well, yes. Okay. All right. But let me ask it another way.
Yeah.
So Montreal's shot at beating Carolina is the rest versus rust being rust.
Oh, sure.
What's Vegas's shot? Like, what happens to Colorado that will open the door for Vegas outside of
the death of McKinnon?
The death of the okay. So you're not giving them. You're not. Well,
no. I am.
35% seems generous then.
No. I think they legitimately have a shot.
Okay, what is their shot? Like genuinely, what's their shot?
So, not Aiden Hill, Kata Hot, who, not super rooting for the guy, but
he was good. He was good last round.
He's really good against a very, very good offense. If he can continue to play at that level, I basically think Vegas needs awesome goaltending to
something they haven't gotten all year except for the last round.
Yep, basically that. If he can be really great, then that could be a difference maker. Because although I don't think Colorado has a problem in net, they have bounced between Wedgwood and Blackwood. And Blackwood certainly hasn't had great numbers, although some of that has not been his fault watching the games. But yeah, I think there could be an advantage in net if that kind of play continues. Because again, the Ducks were an excellent offense.
Yes. They have 2 goalies right now. Carhart is obviously taking the reins because Aiden Hill was atrocious
all year. Aiden Hill
all year.
Yeah.
Aiden Hill was very bad. I think at one point he had like a stretch of like 838 save percentage, and that was over the course of like 3 months.
I mean, Carter Hart also had a really rough start.
No, well, there's Carter Hart was like 865, 870, which is also very bad. Yeah. But 835 is unplayable. That's Jack Campbell right before Jay Woodcroft got fired. Unplayable.
Yep. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah. So they have to hope that Carter Hart continues to find his Philly form. And oh man, that just made some Philly fans retch in horror. But also, like, yeah, the death of Nathan McKinnon.
Yep. God, that would make Philly fans like, especially the Philly fans who think he's like completely innocent and everything. They're just like, we watched this guy for nothing, and then I am not one of those people. That's been well covered in this.
A lot of people need to learn about what consent is, including apparently the judge. Anyway.
No, but that's
no politics.
I do think that's Vegas's best shot is excellent goaltending, which seems simplistic, but everything Vegas does really well, Colorado can do. They can get scoring from the back end.
Yeah, anything you can do, I can do that.
Yep, we can roll 4 lines. We can be physical. We can skill. We can special teams. Everything. Mm-hmm. So the one thing is maybe the net.
Jared Bednar is a very good coach.
Yes, I think so.
And I think that John Tortorella's magic is going to run out here.
Usually it runs out a little later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is he? 12 games into his tenure now? Whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You have a note in here saying the Ducks are going to be good.
Oh. You know, I would be Team Quack if it wasn't for the fact of who was coaching them.
Sure.
They are so fun. They are so talented. They are deep with young talent.
Mm-hmm.
And Cutter Gauthier is an animal.
Yep. Leo Carlson is going to be a stalwart for the next 15 years. Yep. This is good.
Their back end needs a lot of work.
Well, so that's what I'm going to say. I think this was a best case scenario for that team. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what this season was. I think they will be, but I don't think they might not even be this good until they can figure out some of the back end stuff. Because DeStahl, I love. But
he's a very good goaltender.
Just like the Bruins can't expect Swayman to do what he did this year, next year too. Like, you can't. It's such a workload, and you're going to have a season where you just can't hold it together at that level.
Where did DeStahl rank in goals saved of expected? I believe he was top 5.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I can check though. But he was very good, I believe, as far as the metrics go. Mm-hmm. But they can't keep depending on just him saving their butts, right? Like, it has to translate into a better defensive game at some point.
Yeah, right. I mean, they got John Carlson for the back end, who was good. He was what they needed, but they needed more out of the back end. What they needed was not something one player could give them realistically.
Oh, DeStahl had bad stats. That's right, because he started the season really poorly. Remember?
Yeah, and then he really turned it on.
He did, but he still ended negative on the season. Negative 2.9.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I thought he was. I had it in my head that he was really good for a while, which I think he was, but I think also they were getting shell shocked at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think he got
because they won a bunch of games and then they lost a bunch of games.
Yep.
And then they won a bunch of games and then they lost a whole lot of games.
An 888 save percentage of the season. I watched a lot of Ducks this year. He always impressed. I'm actually really surprised that that's what his actual save percentage was. Yeah, no, I don't think it changes my point, though. That's how bad the defense was.
No, defense is bad. I have really cooled off on Pavel Mishnikov.
I think he has a lot of potential, but he's pretty similar to Laura.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah. Ooh, jeez.
We don't need to hash that out, but no, I do think the Ducks need to get even back to this point. I think they are going to have to fix the back end.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the back end being fixed, or Minnesota, they fixed the back end with one of the best defensemen in the league.
Yeah,
and they still can't get past the second round.
Well, and it's poor Minnesota because the loss of Eriksson Ek, you're basically your top line center. What are you supposed to do?
I love Joel Eriksson Ek. I wish he could stay healthy for more than 50 games at a time.
It's just a bummer. He's a great player. They knew that when they traded away Rossi, although obviously he might not have been super ready for that kind of responsibility, but
sure,
they knew making that trade
but they made the depth worse. Yeah. They made the depth worse. Michael McCarron was taking faceoffs at 2C.
Mm-hmm.
Michael McCarron.
Yeah.
He got waived last year, Michael McCarron.
Yeah. So they paid a hefty price for Quinn Hughes. Still won that trade, I think, but my goodness.
Oh no, you get what was it? You get the best. If you get the best player, you win the trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
We spent way more time on this than I thought we were going to. Do you want to do a quick hitters?
Is that not the fucking theme of us?
That's true. Do you want to do quick hitters on the World Cup?
Not yet, because I want to have the Bruins have their own like personal section here.
Okay, sure.
So I actually, you know what? Before we do this, call them. Conference finals, call them. Predictions.
I'm going to go against my bracket.
Good work.
Because I have the Habs in the finals of my bracket. But
how dare you?
I know, felt gross putting them there, but I'm going to go Canes in 6 and Avalanche in 7.
You're giving Vegas more of a fighting chance than I would.
Vegas just scores the goals, man. The ones that you really need.
They're really timely. Really timely. However, I don't think either series is going to be particularly close.
What's your prediction?
Both go 5. Habs, abs.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I misspoke. Canes, abs.
All right. There you go.
Oh, man. If the Habs win, I'll be like, see? Pull the tape. No, I really do think the Canes are going to finally break the curse. I'm sorry, Thomas. As you're editing this, you can make my voice weird or something. I don't know, or make Ian's voice weirder.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, there you go.
What do we got next?
What the fuck is going on with Vegas outside of this?
Good on the league for standing pat. And Cassidy should have every opportunity to speak with any team not currently in the playoffs. It doesn't make any sense as to why he shouldn't be able to. I understand. Well, what about the draft? I don't give a shit. You have fired the man. You have hired someone in his position. Boom.
So I have a significant problem with this because I work in contract law. And something seems really, really fishy with the technically legal but incredibly scumbag way Vegas is dealing with this. I have no love lost for Bruce Cassidy. I've made my feelings on Bruce Cassidy known on this very podcast. I'm not a big fan of him. I am 100% on Bruce Cassidy's side because it's his right as a working man, a working human being, to pursue work in his profession when not doing his chosen profession.
This is the thing. I don't even need all the ethically correct jargon here. It's just, why are we being children? Stop being a fucking child.
No,
I'm not saying you're wrong. You are objectively
mine is the professional way of saying, grow the fuck up. You
grow the fuck up. Just go. Unless you guys were doing something illegal that you don't want to get caught. Oh wait.
Right?
This is the whole thing. The more you protest, the more I want to start digging. The more the league should go, what is happening with you guys?
Okay, so you would think after being fined $100,000, Torts was fined $100,000, but in reality, the team was fined $100,000 because I think you and I both know Foley's going to pay that fine.
Yeah, and you should, honestly. It's your coach.
Yeah, Foley's going to pay that fine. So whatever, team was fined $100,000. But what I think what got Vegas' attention on that, what should have gotten Vegas' attention on that, they took away a top 64 pick this year.
Yep.
That's pretty significant.
Should have been a first.
You know what?
Do you know why? Do you know why it should have been a first?
Ottawa?
No, because fuck them. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. I love that. I love that for you. I love that you said that. But yeah, fuck them. But the second round pick should have gotten their attention. But you would think after getting fined $100,000 and getting a second round pick this season taken away from you, that maybe I should kind of not do something that's PR stupid. No, you are no longer employed by us, but you can't interview for another team, harumph. And it's to the point where the National Hockey League Coaches Union is commenting on this. That tells me Cassidy. Well, McCrimmon came out with a statement that said Cassidy. I spoke with Cassidy, and we're focused on the playoffs, and everybody understands. Kelly McCrimmon, you fucking donkey. You have nothing to do right now. You have nothing to do right now. You just watch your team in the playoffs. It takes 2 seconds to answer an email. It takes 2 seconds to answer a text.
Yep.
What do you mean I'm focused on the playoffs right now? You are intentionally being obtuse. And
I mean, that's what lawyers are.
Yes,
they all are.
Yeah, I work with them every day.
I know
they are.
I'm surprised he's saying this.
No, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that kills me is that this is a statement from a man who is talking about somebody, and McCrimmon talking about Cassidy, who is talking about somebody where McCrimmon thinks he's smarter than Cassidy because he said Cassidy understands. You know what? Cassidy's not dumb.
Yeah.
He understands completely. He understands completely. He just doesn't understand what you think he's understanding. He doesn't understand what you want him to understand. He understands that you're a fucking snake.
Do you want to know what I think happened? I think for the past couple of years, 3 or 4 years, the end of the season comes and the owners have to do their meetings and all this shit, and they have to talk with the Players Association. They got to do all the end of season wrap up stuff. And for like the 3rd or 4th year in a row, everyone looks up over to Foley and it's just like, you guys are fucking assholes. You continue to try to be smarter than everybody in the room. You continue to toe the line. You continue to intentionally act obtuse when you're crossing said line. You live in the gray area. I just don't think they've made any fans across that board, across that panel of people. And then this comes up, and I think Bettman just went, you know what? It's fucking time, man. I need to prove something to 2 people here. Foley, and I need to prove it to Trotz, or to Torts. Those are the 2 guys. Both of them toe the line. Both of them act like they're above everything. This is it. You gave me my opportunity. Thank you. Because I bet the other guys have been begging him to do something about this franchise.
Yes, this is them. This is the feds getting Al Capone on tax evasion.
Yes, you're like, you gave it. You're in my lane. You came to my lane. I was driving a tank. You were over here in your Subaru, and you crossed over. And I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
I've been waiting because I've been asked, and the people who are basically the people I work for, the owners, have been begging me to do something. I'm no fan of Bettman. We're no fans of Bettman, but good on him.
When you take the sporting world and put it into
don't go back on it.
No, they haven't. They declined the appeal. But when you take the sporting world and just put it into an office space and try to figure out how things happened, it's a much more entertaining process of, oh wait, what if this was actually handled like a regular meeting I would have at my job and everyone was a dumbass?
Yep.
Which is
100%, 100%.
How most of the world runs, if we're going to be very honest.
It gives it a relatability that it wouldn't otherwise have.
Yeah. Your lawyers and your doctors and your politicians are all very smart at one thing.
Yep, 100%. I deal with this, Ian. I deal with this every single day.
I don't know why I said politicians. I don't agree with what I just said about politicians.
No,
politicians suck at everything.
Do you want to take that again? No edits.
No. Just no edits. It's just. No edits. I think everyone heard me say that. I was like, really? And I was like, no, I don't actually believe that.
Yeah.
But the doctors and the lawyers.
But the doctors, though. Oh man, it's just I don't understand.
Yeah, you do.
When you just did something that. But that, by the way, the NHL warned them consistently about the media thing, the denying media availability thing. They warned them about it multiple times, and they kept saying, kept saying, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And they kept poking, and they kept poking, and they kept poking at Bettman, and Bettman did something.
Yep. It's easy to see why. There's one awkward truth to the world, and it's hard for people to admit, but... It is so intoxicating being in a situation where you feel like you are above every other rule in the building. Like everyone has to follow a rule and you don't. It's an incredible feeling. It's like walking into a restaurant and you know the owner and he gets you a special table and he like brings out your special order and you just feel above everything. That's how they felt. And the server finally punched him in the face. Like it just...
No, what the server did...
It's easy to see how this happens. So
what the server did was served them their favorite food and then whipped out his dick and pissed right on it.
Everyone knew you were going to go there, right, by the way. Everyone knew you were going to go there.
Huh. You know why?
What?
Because I'm consistent.
He's consistent, just like the Vegas Golden Knights.
Just like the Vegas Golden Knights. Fuck them. And I hope that McCrimmon gets off his high horse for a few seconds and fucking let's Bruce Cassidy interview for another job.
You know what? And I hope he lets Jesus Christ interview for one too, because I feel like that would be really interesting.
Would Jesus Christ be a good hockey coach? Might call him.
He wouldn't know how to skate. He would just walk on the... Never mind. It doesn't really work with ice.
I was going to say everyone could walk on ice, Ian.
Not well.
And you know what? You know what's the best part about that? About Jesus? He has ready-made wood for the sticks.
And break.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah, me.
Did you know this particular fact about this podcast? That we are a Boston Bruins podcast.
Look, that was only like 40 minutes on other topics.
Yeah. But we went the first 40 minutes of this episode without talking about the main topic of the topic we cover.
Yeah. Yeah, it means we're desperately bad at our jobs.
I think that's what it means. I think 259 episodes. I think that's just a misnomer. I don't think we're very experienced at this. Why don't we talk about the Bruins?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you got to say about the Bruins?
Not much has happened.
There you go. Oh, this is top-notch reporting, folks.
Yeah, exactly. But there are some Bruins that are still playing right now as we speak.
Right, you are, Andrew. Right,
yes, they are. You're right. Oh, that hurt.
No, don't start.
Bring
no,
back Doug.
This is about to be painful, though. The Hagen's conversation isn't going to go well. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, it's not. But we're gonna hold off on that.
Yeah,
we're gonna hold off on that. There is some World Championship stuff happening right now.
Truly,
there are some Bruins that are playing in the World Championships. Well, in a matter of speaking.
Yeah.
USA's 2-2, which you dutifully corrected me on, by the way.
You didn't have to mention that. This is why we do the agenda, right? If someone puts in something that they missed, yeah.
I didn't have to mention that, but I did. You know why? Because I am a man of integrity.
Like the U.S. team has had some stinkers.
Yeah, these rosters got killed by Finland.
Oh yeah, just walloped. And I'm gonna be honest, I have not watched every second. Right, I've looked in on our boys, but
same.
The heart needs to heal.
I have caught a significant portion of maybe like 2 of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, we'll start with the good. Lorei looks good.
Yeah, this is going to be a very long road to me trusting Lorei in any sort of sense again. Usually I don't take this stance with players. I think I've been fairly consistent on not doing this to guys, but the foot speed was so bad and he was such a liability. So I'm glad. And I've checked in on his shifts and yes, he's looked mostly good. He's looked good in his own end.
Yeah. And he seems, if you listen to some of the postmortems after the season, it seems like he's perfectly aware of what's going on. He's perfectly aware of he's perfectly aware that he not that he's 1 foot out the door, but that the front office is looking at him to move.
Yeah, he's very easily moved. I think a guy like that has to realize I was playing significant minutes for this team. Somebody's going to value me, but I also got played off the ice. So you have to be able to put 2 and 2
it's
together.
Hard. There. It's hard though, because that was like 4 months of really good play.
Yeah.
And then when the temperature turned up, it was more of what it was more of 2025 Lorai.
Yeah. And we were hoping he was taking like a Montour route, right? Where Montour is nothing, great.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it just clicks, and it's just that click feels far, far away still.
The click,
but still, this is a good. I mean, I'm not saying he's been perfect by any means. Obviously,
there's still some development there, I think, and maybe that's just me just hanging on to a straw here. But I think there's still something there. I think he showed enough on the right side, which was a move that he suggested, by the way, which I think is a good little bit of awareness, because most defensemen don't like to play on their offside.
Yeah. And it's worked. When he moved over, he was great for a while there.
Yeah,
but again,
was.
Playoffs was just so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah, he's got to improve his skating, and I think he's got kind of a looking over his shoulder kind of thing going on right now. But he's looked good.
It's when he plays his best, though. Mm-hmm. Every time there's a significant trade rumor about him, he rips off like 8 games in a row that he's just great.
Yeah, the Calgary rumor. After the Calgary rumor, he was fucking gangbusters.
Yeah, it's just sometimes the guy's got to figure out how to actually harness that drive. Maybe I don't want to make this a Disney movie, but there's got to be something
to defeat the Huns. Yes.
Yeah.
You know who else looks really good? Alex Steves.
I don't even want to talk about it. Great, good for him.
Why?
Because none of that is going to translate to next year. I would love it if he went back to being like a good fourth liner, or not even he got that far away from it. We just had better options. And
I think he burnt out.
He burnt out, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
He's a 13th forward guy. I just don't think anything from this tournament is going to translate to next year for him. These aren't guys where I suddenly expect Steves to look like a true middle six scoring talent.
Mm-hmm. He's a fourth line guy. He's a fourth line guy with scoring pop.
He's playing for his nation's team. Alex Steves. Yeah. Alex Steves is playing for his nation's team.
Yeah. Have you seen some of the line combinations?
So this is how we get to the Hagens conversation, because you can have all sorts of directions at this, but Hagens not beating out several of the players in the lineup is really not a good feeling.
Okay. It's making people lose their minds.
Sure. Which they shouldn't be.
There's and obviously there's some corners of the internet that are like, that are they're if you think that this is some conspiracy to keep Hagens on the bench, you're fucking stupid. You're actually dumb. How do you get up in the morning without concussing yourself?
I could never have guessed that that's what you were about to say. I thought you were just going to be like, well, Hagens is a bust. Not that they're conspiring to keep him.
If you think that there's some sort of conspiracy to keep him on the fucking bench, like, you're really dumb, and you should apply for some sort of license to be able to talk in a forum about this topic. You're far gone. But what are your thoughts genuinely about the fact that Hagens wasn't dressed for this latest game against Germany, which they won in the shootout 4-3.
Yep.
He wasn't even the 13th forward. In international, you carry 13 forwards and 7 defensemen to skate out, and there's rotation. It's the same in the Olympics. They do it in the Olympics all the time. He wasn't even the 13th forward. He was 14th.
Yep.
We've got career minor leaguers that are playing over him. I think, and I'm going to get your thoughts, but I think that while it's concerning, I don't think it's ultimately that big of a deal. I want to see him play. I want to see him play. I think this is a fantastic development opportunity for him. He's also one of the youngest players in this tournament, not just on the team, in this tournament. This feels like this is standard operating procedure, and that getting worked up over this might be a little overreactionary. What are your thoughts?
The truth of this is Higgins was signed from the AHL when he wasn't displaying he was ready to handle the AHL. And then he was put in playoff hockey, and he couldn't quite hack it. And then they made a decision of thinking that maturity in the bottom six over the speed and talent he has was a better option to give yourself a best chance to win. And although I disagree with that, because at that point he's already in the lineup, just play him. But still, he was signed out of the AHL too early because he wasn't displaying it down there. And then he doesn't display it at the NHL level, the level of having it yet. And now, at 19 years old, he's in this World Cup tournament. And again, he just isn't at the level they want him to be at. I don't think that he gets knocked out of this lineup for any reason other than the coaching staff thinks they have a better chance to win with somebody else. It's the only reason he's not in the lineup. He's also 19, and we knew at 7th overall that this wasn't going to be an immediate success story. We obviously have lofty hopes for James Higgins.
And I think those are valid expectations as well, considering where he was at the level below this.
But there's, for some reason, this whole idea, and maybe it's because it's the highest, it is because it's the highest the Bruins have picked in a very long time, but outside of the top 3 picks, you really don't see guys hit the ground and just be like excellent past that right away. I mean, Riley Leonard we talked about for the Capitals, right?
And he was 9th.
And he was 9th, and he's a year older than Higgins. And his first time up at 19 didn't look good. He only played a handful of games, 10 games. But he clearly looked like he needed to acclimate. Yeah, I think it was maybe 1 assist in 9 games, something like that. Mm-hmm. And so he needed time to acclimate. And then he gets into this season, and obviously there's highs and lows, but it's a good season. Now, obviously, you want Higgins next year to make the team and look like a good support piece. Like, that's the next step. Mm-hmm. I can't freak out about this because we are 2 weeks removed from me sitting there going, he wasn't ready. It does suck. The only thing that I could think of to really be concerned about is, yes, the level of talent around him isn't that great, so not winning out a job is a little weird. And not finding any success on the ice against some of these other teams that also have some of their lower level talents involved.
Coaches are going to have coach brain, though. They're not going to play Higgins on the 4th line.
Sure, and and again, I think he did lose out on the job. He wasn't being a dominant player that he needed to be.
Or rather, what I should say is that they did play him on the 4th line a couple games, but he's not going to play the type of game that you're looking for at that part of the lineup.
Yeah.
At that point, why did he make the team, though, is there is a question there.
Them bringing him to the tournament?
Yes.
That's fine. It doesn't, as a Bruins fan, you shouldn't care because the only other thing he's doing is sitting at home training, and he could be training in a team atmosphere at a high level of play. Like, I'd rather him be there anyway, even if he's not actively playing in games. Playing
against men is a boon for him, but he's got to play for that.
Yeah. But I just don't think that setting, he's already played a couple of games, which is better than nothing. And that setting can only be good for them if they, start winning a couple of more games.
You don't think it's weird, not weird, but you can't possibly get like worked up over this, like you said. But the time on ice isn't concerning to you because I believe he's crossed to the 9-minute mark. Only crossed the 9-minute mark in both of his games.
Well, and again, coming into this tournament, he wasn't looked at as one of their higher level forwards.
Sure.
So I just don't think. I think it all comes from he played in the NHL and didn't look quite ready. Right? Again, I would have rather had him in the lineup than Asimont or Steves in those final games, but he wasn't a dominant force, and I think they knew taking him on this team, he was going to be something like an 11th, 12th, 13th forward. Mm-hmm. And so I can't go from, wow, he didn't look ready for this level to, oh my gosh, he still doesn't look ready 3 weeks later.
So, but also if you take into account his season, full season of college hockey, switching to the jump between college hockey and the AHL in terms of difficulty, big jump. It's not a small jump.
No.
So college hockey, AHL, NHL, NHL playoffs, World Championship, and in between that, he played in the World Juniors. Mm-hmm. He's had a long year. He might just be tired.
Yeah. And not for nothing, being a smaller player, he does have to do a little bit extra to earn extra ice time for like a defensive standpoint. I think he's pretty good defensively, but coaches are still going to watch him play and go.
I thought he was perfectly cromulent in the playoffs defensively.
Yeah, I had no issues with him defensively. I think there's one play where I was like, that's a miscommunication.
Yeah, I think that was one of the goals. I think that was one of the goals in that first period that essentially ended the series in Game 4.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But other than that, I think he thought he was perfectly cromulent defensively. I think he showed his nerves offensively, and I think maybe that was kind of his kill shot in terms of Sturm going to Esamont and Steve's in games 5 and 6. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I would like to see him play more. I would like to see him work into the lineup. But I think if you're getting worked up over this, you need to take a step back.
Yeah, and I don't think it's certainly not the same take as if you believe that he's being benched out of some conspiracy. Like, that's the crazy part. If you are getting frustrated by this, I think it's very understandable. It's just not giving us any new information from the version of James Higgins we saw a few weeks ago. So if you were upset about it then, that means you're upset about the same thing now.
Yes.
If you weren't upset about it then, but you're upset now, you kind of missed the train. Right?
Yeah, right.
So I can't. Yeah,
it's like if this is your tipping point, you haven't been paying attention. I think is a big thing here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna start getting worried about Higgins for a while. Now, if he doesn't make the team at a camp, I'll obviously be shocked.
I am not going to get pre-mad over something they haven't done yet.
Right. But that's the only place where I'm sitting being like, okay, well, that would be fucking weird.
Yeah, and I think life's too short to do that right now.
Yeah. Buddy, we have to fly through some fan mail. We've been going way later than we expected to go.
Well, it's good on you, because I just opened the fan mail because I had that same thought.
I just looked at the clock and I'm like, Jesus.
All right. So we're just gonna kind of fire them off though. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. It's a good one to start with. Okay.
That always helps with the firing process. We select one here.
It's like, oh wait, hang on. I gotta load the gun first. All right. Seb from Fayetteville, North Carolina, also Greensboro, North Carolina. Also, his address is... No, I'm just kidding. Hello, Papas. What surprising prospect do you think will make the team as an extra or even crack the main roster? I have a feeling that Zajac will make it as our backup and Gallagher as an extra. Your thoughts?
Why are you doing a voice? You're like playing the role of...
I'm Seb now. Seb, I'm in your walls, by the way.
Surprising prospect. Now, it's not going to be surprising for me to say Lot Smells, but also he's recovering from an injury, so God knows.
Also, he's recovering from an injury, so it would be stunning if he made the opening roster.
Yeah. Surprising... I don't think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I can list off like the 3 guys that have a chance, and I don't know. What do you got?
I think it's Loshmels. That's going to be my surprise. I don't know if Brunet is considered a surprise, but he might be.
That's the thing. It's like Brunet. I guess Lysell would be a surprise.
Lysell would be a surprise if he's even in camp.
Yeah. No, Brunet and Patra should have a real shot.
Yeah.
Right.
I think okay. Hot take time. Patra makes the team. Like lock. Stone cold lock.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't think they can afford to keep doing this to him.
Ooh, here's mine. Andre Guisseau signs. And he makes the fourth line next year over Corral.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
There you go.
We love somebody who realizes they were wrong. And I'm talking about Guisseau, not you.
I have no idea what's going on with that situation, but we have plenty of time to cover that. Yes. What do we got next?
All right. Tommy, also from North Carolina. How many people from North Carolina listen to the show? Goddamn. The Bruins basically uptick the roster is via trade. What teams do you think make good partners, and what players realistically do you think the Bruins should go after? Robert Thomas is the obvious choice, of course, but what do you guys think?
I'm going to choose one team and one player.
Okay, go ahead.
Because this is a loaded question.
Sure.
Anaheim is a great trade partner. We've traded with them several times as a bridge there already. Realistic player? That's a great question. I'm going to go with Zellweger.
Okay.
It's not that realistic, but
he kind of was the odd man out. It
is a left defenseman. He did. It is a left defenseman, but I think that's not going to dissuade them from going after a talent like that if that's available.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, people will talk about McTavish and those, but that's what I'm going to say is Anaheim's probably a really good candidate for a trade.
New York Rangers.
Gross.
Alex Lafreniere.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, but I think he could be had for less money.
Do you think they would retain for the next 6 years of that contract?
Chris Drury is really stupid.
All right, you heard it here first. Next question.
Realistically, I would love Robert Thomas. I think you could do some gymnastics to maybe get an Elias Pettersson for retainment.
We can't start that conversation right now.
No, we can't start that conversation, but I'm answering the question.
Yeah.
There's lots of potential options, and we're gonna go through some of them later on
for sure,
in our off season. But there's a little taste for you. Next up, Brian from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Now that almost all the teams in the Atlantic are competitive again, what is a realistic expectation for the Bruins next year? Is making the playoffs just the best that we can hope for? Go Bees.
Yeah, I mean, pre-off season, yeah.
Yeah, pre-off season, yeah. Pre-off season, it's kind of like, how did this team get 100 points?
Yeah, there's going to be... It'll be fascinating to see how we feel about this team come September 1st. It will be fascinating.
Yeah. Yep. It'll be fun to go back on these tapes.
Yeah. Truly, every team in the Atlantic thinks they're a playoff team.
Sure. And
even sort of Detroit.
And what? Jesus.
John B and I just did an episode on PFH.
Go check it out. It's a great pod.
Check it out. It's a great pod. It's literally PFH, but play fucking hockey. And he is very much on the side of, I don't know if Detroit's good enough next year. It feels like the only team that has fans saying, we don't know. And all the 7 other teams are like, we should make the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, Eiserman has finally broken him.
I think he's still a Geyser guy. I think he is.
Well,
he's not in love with him, but he doesn't blame him for a lot.
John B, if you're listening, if you are still an Iser guy, I need you to understand something.
Oh.
All they had to do was
mean.
prove me wrong.
This is cruel.
And they couldn't
one person.
do it.
They couldn't do it. This is rude.
So I want you to clip that and think about it.
John B, I'm going to text you Andrew's address in case you want to send a message.
Yep, please do. My address is 71. Anyway.
What else we got?
Harry Hood from Foxborough. Love me a good fish reference, by the way. If we won the series against Buffalo, how many games would we have won against Montreal? My guess is 1 or 2.
It's the perfectly accurate guess. You're probably being optimistic.
I think we match up a little better because they're not a great possession team yet.
True.
So I think I would say 6 games, maybe even it would have been a game 7.
Damn.
It would have been ugly hockey, possibly not that entertaining.
A Bell Center home crowd in game 7 against the Boston Bruins.
That would be like, wrestling fans would understand this. WrestleMania 18, Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Neither can go anymore.
Yeah.
But the crowd makes the match.
I ain't hear no bell.
Exactly.
But yeah, there wouldn't be high expectations for that. And I'm not saying that was hindsight. That would have been my prediction. In fact, that was my prediction on my bracket, is that Boston comes out of the Buffalo matchup, but they get smoked by Montreal.
Yep. Well, there you go. AJ from Leominster. Who's that?
Leominster? Old stomping grounds. Not really stomping grounds. I used to go there to... Well, that's not important. That's, right. What is he saying?
Yeah, what did you used to do there?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it. Okay. Good evening, Short Shift. I'm not apologizing for going over a minute. That is all. Go Bees! All right.
Valid. Next.
Bex from Walpole into the den. All right. She asks, I think we all know that. Oh, whoops, sorry. It's into the den. I think we all know that. Okay. Even if we want to pretend this was overperformance from the Sabres, they're fucking back, even if they did lose. And with that comes the crow eating of Ian. Tage Thompson is going to be a third liner at best. Bonner. Oh, she's going after you.
Damn. How long ago did I say that?
Oh man. Bex, I appreciate a good solid take hold.
The accountability is excellent. I had to have said that 4 years ago, right? That had to be.
I believe so.
Wow. No one ever told me my takes were good. So yeah.
No, certainly not here. But beyond that, what do you think is the biggest thing they need to do to advance further than the second round? Let me know what you guys think. Beecher 1C forever and go Bees.
I mean, I hate to be simple, but if there was one move,
stopped you anytime,
right? If there's one move a year from now, I'd say that was the difference. It's putting a package around Hagens for Robert Thomas.
Okay.
If you can somehow keep Minton in that package, and you can move off of Hagens plus draft collateral.
Oh man, I think we're gonna talk a lot about this until the Blues come right out and say we're not trading Robert Thomas.
Yep. And to be clear on that, it's not because I think Minton's better than Hagens. It's just because Hagens is the value piece that has to go in that deal.
Yep, 100%. I think we all know that.
Yep, that's the only thing I could think of off the top of my head. That this one move was that's the move.
Yeah, that's it. Dudes from Framingham, old friend.
Oh yeah, dudes.
No real questions here. Just excited to see how the Bruins improve via trade in the offseason.
Spoken like a man with confidence.
Yep.
Thank you,
Love
dudes.
hearing y'all ramble. Stay horny. I'm way ahead of you, bud. And go Bees.
Go Bees. Thank you, dudes.
You're my
just
favorite.
On to the next. Stay horny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know our audience. What do you want?
Yeah. Fair.
Okay. So we got somebody from Wichita, Kansas, who did not sign their fan mail. How dare. After watching how Liessel's development and so far how Patra has transpired, is it fair to be somewhat concerned about Hagens, Dean, and Zellers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think concern about the development is absolutely a word. Like, it's not something that you can affect, right? As like your thoughts on this are not going to change the path, but if you're just want something to worry about, hell yeah, you're choosing a very accurate path to go down.
Yeah. You're not necessarily off the beaten path with that one.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of final 2 or 3 years after we did the, hey, is the development a little bad episode here? on the short shift. It sounds like that by and large, the national media is catching up to that particular question. People who were never asking that question are now finally asking that question.
Langenbrunner being gone obviously makes a difference here.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I'll be fascinated to see what changes naturally happen going forward and seeing who's actually reporting on this, because, like, to remind everyone, the Bruins really don't like their business out there. And I know every fan base likes to think that their franchise is secretive and stuff, but the Bruins actually do put a lot of effort into quieting anything going out about them.
They're really good about that.
They are. It's why there's so much frustration with like guys like Fluto, because so often it feels like he's a mouthpiece for the team rather than actually reporting on the team. I'm not saying he is or isn't. That's the feedback he frequently gets.
In the past, we know for a fact that in the past he's had sources from within the team or sometimes recently fired and still getting sources.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave that alone. But yeah, no, I mean, again, that's not necessarily unfounded, but there is a lot of questions about the development, and I think they're fair questions. I think people who are pushing back on that aren't really paying attention.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's people have been harping on the development forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. People like us, but it seems like now recently the bigger guys are catching up.
I also think it's been helped along by the fact that there are prospects to be excited about. And
it's like, hey, wait a minute. When's the last time we had a prospect?
We keep coasting with this, like, well, it's fine. They're all 24th or after picks. And now you've got some top talent and you go, oh, boy.
Yep. And it's like, oh, boy, it's like now expectations are a lot higher than they were. Yep. Wage from Framingham. Just wanted to say thanks for the season, Short Shift. Aw. Hoping you do some cool episodes over the off season. You're asking too much. PWHL primer, maybe? I think we could do that.
I don't know, but maybe.
I think we could do that. I think that if we lock you in a room and just have you watch nothing but PWHL for 2 weeks, you would retain it like a sponge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to join the Discord. Hell yeah, Wage. Love you, kid. By the way, join the Discord. It's really weird in here. Wait, I'm supposed to be advertising people to join the Discord.
Yes.
Brandon from Middletown asks, so the Bruins maximizing prospect value or holding on to players too long?
I actually think they do a really good job of maximizing value because there's always a level of value lost for the most part. Like you don't see teams always move them at the height of their value because usually that's right after the draft, you know?
Yeah.
The Lysell stuff is easy to criticize, but his skating was truly an elite factor to his game. Mm-hmm. Betting on him to put it together, you could have ended up with a true top six talent. It made sense why they held on as long as they did. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, these other guys like Patra and whatnot are lower round picks. I mean, not even lower round, but they're just not first round picks. So
not even first round. Exactly. Yeah. I think I think that we have been in this weird ether, like this no man's land in the last couple of years where, you know, mushy middle. We've been in the mushy middle. So it's kind of like, you know, at what point do you move off of some of these prospects and at what point is like, you know, are we giving up too soon? Are we gestating these prospects? So I mean, like, it's a difficult thing. It is.
I'm not saying they've been perfect too. I'm absolutely with you when you go like they waited too long on that guy, they moved that guy too early, whatever you want to do there, that's fine. Sure. When you're trading guys like Brazeau for the package that we cover, who's Nadinov in a fourth or whatever the hell that was, you're doing all right with some of this. It's not a perfect scenario, but I do think they do a good job of getting value.
Yes. Hey guys, since the Bruins don't have a third jersey right now and the Piss Yellow Stadium Series jerseys were a thing, what would you like to see for a new third jersey? Go Bees. Duncan Bronut from Lowell, Massachusetts. My stomping grounds. Duncan Bronut, make yourself known. We'll get a drink sometime.
Duncan from Lowell. Excellent. What would I like to see? That's such a vague question if we're going to be very honest.
I have a very easy answer, actually.
Mine's somewhat easy. God, which year were these? Hold on, I gotta look it up. You do your answer because I.
It's simple. Gold Pooh Bear.
You want a gold Pooh Bear? Okay.
I want a gold Pooh Bear, but I want it done in like a more classic style.
Like the Pooh Bear is gold? Like the actual
the jersey
logo?
Is gold. The jersey is gold. The Pooh Bear's on the front, but you do it in like more of an older kind of style.
So not like the old Pooh Bear.
Correct.
Different.
Yes. Work around the Pooh Bear, but have the Pooh Bear be in there. I can hear Thomas gnashing his teeth.
I want to see the 2019 Winter Classics with the like brown and the stripes. Mm-hmm. I like an old school kind of look like that. I'd like them to clean it up a little. They could probably actually go back to what it was in the early 1900s when they had like the actual bear on the front with the brown. I just think the brown's actually a cool look on the ice. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, poop jerseys. I don't know. If you do it right, I think it looks good.
Okay. Do you trust him to do it right?
No.
Okay, good.
Glad we had that talk. I think we got time for one or two more.
Yep. And I think we have three more, so we'll make these quick.
Okay.
Hi, boys. It's Rob, Highway Robbery from Rhode Island. With this upcoming free agency class looking pretty booty cheeks. Yes. Are there any free agents that you'd be happy with the Bruins taking a flyer on? Or do they trade away assets for more higher-end players that could be useful over the next few years, depending on said player's contract? Go Bees. P.S. Corrales' deal was worth it. Fuck you, Andrew. I'm going to ban you from the Discord. B, who would I want to take a flyer on?
I wonder if Rasmus Andersson might make it to free agency.
I don't think there's a doubt.
I mean, it feels like the kind of guy they try to keep around, despite a, mixed bag.
Yeah.
I would look at that for sure.
Yeah. You'd look at Rasmus Andersson. I'm not a huge fan of Rasmus Andersson.
I know. You've been very consistent about that.
But
an improvement on the second pair right side, he would be.
You know who would also be an improvement on the second pair right side? Fucking Darren Radish, and I wouldn't touch him either.
I feel like a very different scenario. Just throwing that out there,
Yeah, well, I think Darren Radish would be fine. He'd be fine. He wouldn't make fine money, though.
No, he would be $1 billion, and you would regret about half of that billion. So, so he's an answer for me. Who else you got?
Rasmus Andersson is actually a decent answer. This free agent class, I have not thought very hard about it because holy shit. A lot of the free agent class is that I think that they're going to go after are going to be like Jonathan Aspero types.
Yeah.
Boone
Jenner's not going to make it, unfortunately.
R.I.P.
Yeah, but also they would sign him to like a 6-year, $6 million deal, and he's 32. And
didn't the Jackets just did that with Coyle? Literally 6x6.
Yep, I accidentally did that, but yes, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, no, you are brilliant. Like, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but look at some of these guys that are fucking free agents.
You know who we're going to end up with? You said Aspero types, right?
Yeah.
Nick Blankenberg.
You know what? Hell yeah.
I would say hell yeah to that, but that's exactly who they're going to be going for if he makes it to free agency.
Hell yeah, brother. I would take Patrick Laine. Fucking Jaden Schwartz.
No,
Oliver Bjorkstrand. Tarasenko. Michael Bunting. Mason Marchment might be fun.
McMahon would be fun, but he's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid.
Matt Zuccarello. Matt Zuccarello's almost 40. He's a free agent. Do we circle back on Arvidsson? Like, this free agent class is dog shit.
We're gonna get Troy Stetcher, and he's just gonna be my new Andrew Peak, who was my new Derek Forbort.
I hate you.
We're gonna keep the train rolling. We are absolutely gonna keep the train rolling.
Oh yeah.
It's been 6 years. 6 years. Forbort for 3, and then Peak for 3, or 5 years because the overlap by 1 year, I think.
I got one more.
What?
I got one more. Hey guys, it's Foley. First of all, how fucking dare the NHL put me in a position that my only choice right now is to root for Nazem Kadri. Fuck all the way off. Hard pass. Second, had some time to decompress, sit with the season, and I really thought the Bruins were going to walk into the season the way that Andrew walks everywhere. Fuck off. But we really, at the end of the day, we got what we wanted. We got meaningful minutes for the kids, and we played meaningful hockey in May. So the future, I think, looks good. Excited to see next year. Go Bees. Foley from wherever he's from.
Foley, thank you for capping this episode for us. Go Bees.
Go Bees. And Ian?
Yeah.
Thanks for a great season, bud.
Hell yeah, brother.
And Thomas, we miss you.
Go Bees.